WhatsApp is by far the most used messaging application in the world. There are 2.4 billion people who are sending, on average, 100 billion messages every single day. But it's still not a very good business. While it ranks number 1 in terms of users, it ranks last in terms of how much money it's generating compared to its competition. The average revenue per user figure, or ARPU, shows you how many dollars a single user generates for you. And China's largest messaging platform, WeChat, is more than 27 times larger than WhatsApp. So what is WhatsApp doing wrong? And why can't it seem to make any money despite having the largest user base in the world? Turns out you have to be extremely creative to make money when you're at that size. Something that WeChat has very quickly figured out. Multiple companies like X have tried to copy that same method but have failed. And core messaging companies like WhatsApp or Telegram will always struggle with generating revenues because the business of messaging is actually a little bit cursed. It's very different from a traditional tech business model. Unlike a traditional business, it's actually really difficult to monetize a messaging platform. The obvious thing you might say is, why aren't they just all running ads? But while platforms like Instagram and YouTube can rely almost entirely on ads to grow, this approach doesn't work at all for messengers. Ads work for companies like Reddit and YouTube only because they're entirely interest-based and they can understand who their users are. I also talked about this on my Reddit video, but essentially YouTube will know whether their viewer is interested in coffee, and so will be able to connect the right advertiser with the right customer, leading to a higher conversion rate. The ability to segment users like this is actually what makes the ad business model possible, and it doesn't work at all for messengers. Messengers aren't actually built to be ad-based platforms because you're not watching or interacting with content, you're just sending messages to your network. There's also a very strong focus on data privacy, so packaging up your data and selling it on will be extremely problematic. So even if WhatsApp does have a huge user base compared to Reddit will still be the more attractive platform to allocate your ad spend if you're a company, because at least you're able to understand who you're selling to. Okay, so WhatsApp can't rely on ads, fine. The other obvious thing you might say is WhatsApp should just charge people in order to use the application. The problem with that approach is the market for messaging is very saturated, and messaging is actually a commodity, right? It's just you sending a message to your friend. If WhatsApp starts charging people, a lot of friend groups will start migrating to free alternatives, which will actually do more harm than good for WhatsApp. So essentially, there are 2 routes you can take to make money as a messenger. WhatsApp is doing neither of them properly, while most of the successful messengers are doing both at the same time. Level 1 is all about selling things that might enhance your user's experience as they message. This could be premium stickers or emoji packs. For example, Line in Japan operates on a subscription model to unlock premium stickers. You pay the company a monthly fee, and then you'll have access to rare sticker packs. I love that I found this. You can get a fiction AI baby stamp for $1 or this cute Indian man sticker with pun. I actually don't know how to feel about this as an Indian man. I kind of like it. Anyways, not buying this doesn't stop people from using your application for free, but it will enhance their experience. The real genius move from Line is to allow for a creator marketplace where Line can just let others design the stickers on their platform and take a cut every time those stickers are sold. They're priced pretty cheaply too, so you're likely to get them if your network of friends is all using them constantly. WhatsApp is not even close to this level of maturity for in-app purchases. They're leaving a lot of money on the table, especially because you can just get WhatsApp stickers on Etsy. Nothing as exciting as fiction AI baby stamp though. Here's the in-app purchase revenue statistics. WhatsApp doesn't even feature on this list of messengers. One of the top companies on this list is WeChat, whose in-app revenue is 6.94 million, and the company actually overall makes 17 billion a year. So we know that while in-app purchases are probably important, they don't actually explain the success of these applications entirely. And that brings me on to level 2, and this is where all of the money is actually made. Level 2 is all about creating a super app. Think of a super app as an everything application. Imagine if you could use WhatsApp to purchase insurance, order a taxi, pay for things, and message your friends without actually ever leaving the application. Just the thought of that might sound a bit weird to you if you're in this part of the world, but this is the real secret to success for most of these platforms. Super apps tend to be extremely dominant and can lead to a lot of unfair revenue growth. Inspired by the dominance of these super apps, Elon Musk has actually talked about making X into an everything application. WhatsApp has also been testing out similar features like in-app shopping and travel in order to quietly move into the same direction. The reason WhatsApp needs to move in this direction is because it's impossible to make substantial revenue via ads, so they're kind of stuck. Similar to WeChat, they control the attention of billions of people in the world. So if they choose to add insurance or payments into their application, then billions of WhatsApp users will immediately want to try it out. It's like Windows deciding to bundle in PowerPoint and Word for free. It also allows companies like WeChat to operate like a grocery store. You add in so many features that it almost doesn't matter whether they're all profitable. For example, Meituan, another Chinese super app, gets most of its users from food delivery services, but actually makes the majority of its profits on hotel and travel bookings. The China tech landscape is entirely different, but it's provided a blueprint for a lot of these Western tech companies. And WhatsApp and X clearly want to move towards this direction. But the sad reality is that they'll likely never become super apps. This is mainly because there are dedicated billion-dollar companies which serve the market for each possible feature. If you want travel, there's Booking.com. If you want payments, there's Apple Pay, there's Revolut, Monzo. So the real task for the executive team at WhatsApp is to figure out what features they could develop which are somehow better than their competitors and make sense for people to use without actually leaving the application. In all fairness, you could even argue that utility type companies like messaging or email are not ever meant to have revenues of $17 billion a year. China is just a weird glitch in the whole system. One of the reasons WeChat emerged in China was because of strong regulations where Western companies were blocked from operating in the market, which left a fairly big gap. And China's population, much like India's, was direct to use mobile phones rather than having a PC wave first, which actually ended up helping these super apps. In the Western world, we tend to see applications as vertical and specific with one core use case. This is why Uber's taxi app was separate from Uber Eats for a long time, and this is probably why Prime is now not integrated in the best possible way with separate apps for video, reading, music, etc. So I guess the question is WhatsApp just screwed? Not quite. There is still some hope for the company. The key with WhatsApp is global dominance. 2.4 billion users is not a joke. That's 2 out of every 7 people on Earth. They are the most used messaging app in most of the continents in the world. In some of these continents, like Latin America, the tech ecosystem is not quite as mature as others. People are not loyal to Amazon or Uber yet, but they are loyal to WhatsApp. They could use this to their advantage and start building bundled products for these markets, basically copying what WeChat did. But even if they don't make any money, it's not necessarily a problem. WhatsApp lives in a bigger world of meta platforms. It is not a standalone company which is pressured to report high revenue figures. And we've been talking about their abysmal monetization, but to be honest, Zuck and team might not even see this as an issue right now. WhatsApp can forever be subsidized by Instagram and Facebook until they can work out how to monetize this standalone messaging app or what they actually want to do with it. And look, the thing is, Meta is not a company that's been entirely good for the world, farming user data, meddling in elections, and helping divide society through misinformation. But in the midst of all of this, they've given the world WhatsApp. They haven't charged anyone to use it, they haven't plastered it with ads, and they've managed to connect 2.4 billion people via the same application. WhatsApp might be their worst business, but it's definitely their best product. Please do consider subscribing, it genuinely helps the channel out a lot. Also, check out my video on Reddit, which also explored abysmal ARPU numbers.